I've got 2 series ideas, which one should I pick? How about both at the same time? That should do the trick. 22 full years of questing, no base or death, this will be fun. RuneScape 3 Hardcore Ultimate Ironman, questing through 2001. Welcome back, for the last time, to January 4th, 2001. We finished everything available. Well, everything that we needed to finish. There is still 99 smithing, but we're not going to do that. Anyways, the first day has been completed, according to the rules of the series, aka finishing all the available quests. And so, it's time to not travel through time, but have time move forward. Exactly when this happens is completely based on us finishing quests, so we can spend as much extra time as we want on any given day. For most of the time, that's not really necessary, since getting more updates would allow us to do more things better and faster and all that. So, for the most part, we'll spend the minimum possible time. Although we did go ahead and get 10 plus in all skills, except for crafting. So, that's okay. We now move to January 21st, 2001. Technically, there were updates in between those 2 days, but the exact days that they were on are not specified in the update tracker. For the first few here, it was more newsletters about what happened in the past few weeks, since there were quite a few things happening on the first days here. But ultimately, we get access to all the content up till the next quest anyways, so this is fine. With many updates, there are changes to the world. Sometimes these are larger, sometimes they're smaller, but we can see the game transform via the world map. Back on the first day, this is what we had. And now, we're moving to this. A few notable changes here. And also, some more subtle differences. One nice addition is symbols for things all across the map, which we can see in these nice little circles. A lot of these were added bit by bit as updates come out, adding changes to the map here. Eventually, there's going to be even more, and also even more symbols when there's more things to have the symbols on. But for now, we got a few shops, and mines, and the furnace. And that is the bulk of things. Got 2 dungeons. It's a start. Also, this map might have some inaccuracies. There were not official world maps for every single update. So what I've been doing is piecing them together by omitting future updates and just having it be what it was before. The map that I had to go from to get to this has lots of stuff. The layer of the new map has many, many holes in it to show the original map underneath. But this is what we're starting with. So let's go to the new content. The first of the updates that we now have access to is this bridge. Northern Lumbridge Bridge. Technically not the most northern bridge now, but still, much better. And also, this furnace house is now here. So this is now actually where the only furnace in the world is. Possibly. It's a furnace. Doing furnace things. As expected. So now, if we want to do more mining and smithing, we don't need to run all the way down here to the southern bridge. So that'll save us a little bit of time. And I will absolutely take that. Less running around for me. A literal XP boost from the first update. Can't complain. Next up, we need to be right over there. But this is still a gate with... well, not even a gate. There is no gate. It's just a fence all across here. So we can't go that way. So instead, all the way around. Running down past the mine that for us only has gold in it. We arrive at Al-Kharid. Previously, this was just two little buildings on the edge of the world, but now it's a whole city. Ain't that something? There's a lot more going on here than we have access to, and it all looks very, very different because there was a significant rework to the whole area here, making it look very fancy. What we do have is the palace here and the Al-Kharid warriors we could fight if we wanted to. Don't really need to do that. They don't have super good drops or anything, so it's an option though. And obviously, it's always nice to have options. Besides the palace here, there isn't a bank. That's not here yet. But in this section, well, this used to be one building. We'll start from this side. We've got the kebab shop. Oh boy. We talk to Kareem here. Would you like to buy a nice kebab? Only 1 gold. Yes, please. 1 gold is a very nice price for a piece of food. Although, they're not particularly good. They have random effects, and they always have. Previously, there was more detrimental effects possible. But these days, you're more likely to just get a small amount of healing. Even less than other food. I suppose it would technically be quicker. Ultimately, you're going to get around 10% of your health on average. There is also options to get 20 or 30%, but it's all very random, and a random amount of healing is really not what I'm looking for in trying to stay alive. And the furnace does exist here. So now, that one over there is not the only furnace in the world. Although, it now is a further furnace from the actual mines that we would use up near Varrock. So, ultimately, this is not very useful to us. It would have been better if there were still useful ores in the Alcarid mine, but there's not, so. Anyways. There is no tanner, because there is no leather, so that's not here. But there is the scimitar shop. If we trade Zeke here, he sells a variety of scimitars, but not this variety. We only have access to the bronze, iron, steel, and mithril main hand scimitars. So, ultimately, not the best shop, really. The Varrock's sword shop also sells adamant, while this one does not. And with EOC, scimitars and daggers are basically the same. So, Zeke's scimitar shop, probably not going to be getting any of our business, unfortunately. Over to the other side of town here, we've got a general store doing general store things. Nothing exciting there. General store, same as the other general store. Typical. And we got Louis Legs, who sells plate legs. Very fun. Although, again, not actually this selection. It will be pretty soon, depending on when they change this shop. Black plate legs will exist in the very near future. Although they might first come to the other store before eventually coming back over here. Hard to say. But it's not like we're desperate to buy black plate legs. Although, to be honest, they're much cheaper than steel, so maybe we just go straight to black equipment. That could save us a lot of money. And then, also, prices are out of control. They're all more expensive by a lot. I mean, at least with adamant, we're getting close to about right. 10,000 instead of 6,400. A much more reasonable deal than 2,500 for the bronze plate legs that should be 80. Gold is definitely a situation. And right down to the south here, we should have a plate skirt shop. Well, we shouldn't. That doesn't exist yet. Eventually, though. Eventually. And then there's no crafting shop, because all those aspects of crafting don't exist yet. We're still rocking only balls of wool. There's no cactus patch or Farouk or Ali Morsane, but there is a silk trader. Do you want to buy any fine silks? How much are they? 3 GP. Okay, that sounds good. And we get some silk. We also have the option of doing a bit of haggling. 3 GP. No, that's too much for me. 2 GP, and that's as low as I'll go. I'm not selling for any less. You'll only go and sell it in Varrock for a profit. Sounds good. And what he says is absolutely true. We can go and sell these in Varrock for a profit. Whether or not this is good money, debatable. And it would definitely be better money, assuming we have more inventory space, since we don't have to run to Varrock so often. But I was going to fill up here, because why not? We're in the area. Might as well have a good time with it. While this guy over here gets 200 million in every skill. No, not every skill. A lot of skills, though. My goodness. Oh, yes, in every skill. Amazing. And sometimes we accidentally click the wrong one. It's a lot more dialogues to get them for 2 GP. The question of efficiency and all that. And that is Al-Qarid. Currently for us, not super useful. There's a plate legs shop, and that's pretty much it. But that's okay. Again, we can't go this way. So we're just going to go this way instead. Oh, did they not get all? That was somebody else there, 200 mil in all skills. Okay. Well, way to show up that first guy. Anyways. No, he did. He did. There it is. All skills, all skills. This person just lost a rank on the top of the high scores until another skill comes out. I'm sure he's fine. So anyways, we need to take these silk to Varrock. We just need to come over to Thessalia, trade her, where now silk exists. Amazing. And we can sell the silk for 16 each. And that is correct. There is no unnecessary dialogue here, so at least this part is pretty reasonable. So ultimately, we can get 13 or 14 GP per silk. So the question is going to be if that's actually better money than making bronze stuff. But we also don't get any experience out of that, so probably not better in the long run. And much more spamming through dialogues, so not the most fun thing to do. There's also another option for bringing things over to Varrock to sell, and that is with Barrick here. He sells and buys furs. So if we brought him some bear fur after fighting a bear, we could sell it to him. But I don't really think we need to fight any bears right now. And ultimately, it's only 12 coins when you sell it to him, so probably would be faster to just do the silk. But then again, you get some experience fighting the bears, so not the worst idea. But that is last connections from Al-Qarid. And now, that is everything else out of the way. So we can move on to the last bit of the update and the quest. The doors of Draenor Manor have unlocked. So now we can go in there and get up to spooky hijinks. And specifically, we can talk to Veronica here for a quest. Can you help me? I'm in a terrible spot of trouble. My fiancé Ernest and I came upon this house. Seeing as we were a little lost, Ernest decided to go in and ask for directions. That was an hour ago, and that house looks spooky. Can you go and see if you can find him for me? Ernest, the chicken. Accept. Thank you, thank you. I'm very grateful. I think I spotted some lights flashing in one of the top floor windows, so you may want to head up there first. That is very helpful. This entire quest takes place here at Draenor Manor, where there is a few things to consider. Trees that can attack you, various monsters inside the manor itself, and a few updates that have happened that slightly changed things. There was a very, very small I wouldn't even call it rework. More like a touch of paint and reward changes in 2009 for Ernest the Chicken. And then the grounds themselves out here were updated to become the Halloween event location in 2020. So it's slightly different, but ultimately everything's going to work the same for us. We examine the large door here. It's got a note on it. There's a sign on the door that says, "Adventurers beware. Going in doesn't mean you'll come out again." Go in? Yes. Come out again? No. The doors are locked behind us, which is very spooky. Very spooky indeed. So here we have Draenor Manor. Not much to do in here, quite yet. Lots of the things that exist aren't quite how they should be. The layout is slightly different. A few NPCs aren't here yet. Or maybe they're not here yet for us either. Have to do Ernest the Chicken first, perhaps. Either way, we are here for the quest. And we need to pick up a few things around the manor itself. Like this here, poison. Yoink. And some other things that will be nice to have over on this side of the manor. We're gonna take this spade and also a bronze medium helm, which we can just pick up. Don't need that bucket. We don't need a bronze medium helm, but we can sell it to a store for 25 coins, I guess. I would say this would be another optional money-making method. Just hopping worlds, picking up bronze medium helmets. But bronze medium helmets exist, so that part of the plan works. But other worlds don't exist. There is only a singular world. And as much as we could choose to be on any world, and realistically not going to make a big difference, world hopping isn't really an option for us. So we head up another flight of stairs here, and we can see some spooky ghosts. Very spooky. Don't need to fight the ghosts. Just need to pick up this fish food. I'll take that. Very good. Ghost's trying to get me. Don't want it. And up the ladder to the top floor, where we find Professor Odenstein. Be careful in here. There's lots of dangerous equipment. I'm looking for a guy called Ernest. Ah, Ernest. Top-notch bloke. He's helping me with my experiments. So you know where he is? He's that chicken over there. Ernest is a chicken? Are you sure? Oh, he isn't normally a chicken. Or at least he wasn't until he helped test my Poltramorph machine. It was originally going to be called a transmutation machine, but after testing it, Poltramorph seems more appropriate. I'm glad Veronica didn't get engaged to a chicken. It was Veronica. Ernest's fiance. She probably doesn't want to marry a chicken. Oh, I don't know. She could have free eggs for breakfast every morning. I think you better change him back. It's not so easy. My machine is broken, and this house has long been pestered by poltergeists. They seem to reap joy from hiding my belongings, and in this case, the vital parts to my machine. Well, I can look for them. That'd be a huge help. They'll be somewhere in the manor house, or its grounds outside. I'm missing the pressure gauge and a rubber tube. They've also taken my oil can, which I'm going to need to get this thing started again. Any clues? Well, I wouldn't be surprised if you found something in my IQ testing room under the manor where I test my creations. Oh, and if I were you, I'd stay away from the coffin in the basement. Even the poltergeists don't dare go near it. Yeah, the coffin in the basement has a vampire in it. We can't mess with that yet. Not going to tempt fate here. But we can go and get the other pieces that are required. We've got what we need to make a start here. But we need to be outside. And so, we're going to take this bronze medium helmet. I'm going to have a stack of these by the end of this. It's going to be great. And we head outside to the manor grounds. Go past the spooky gallows. Very spooky. Everything here is very spooky. All the giant spiders and dead trees and gravestones. Here's some cabbage. Always a good time. Search the compost heap with the spade. That is required, or we simply refuse to dig through it. Like it's just a grimy key, which will be useful later. Ignore the leprechaun, he's not here. And head down to a fountain. Very fancy, very cool. We search it. There's a pressure gauge in here. Ow. And a lot of piranhas. I can't get the gauge out. So we need to deal with the piranhas. We've got some poison. We got some fish food. Poison fish food. Poison the fish. Pour the poison fish food in the fountain. The piranhas start eating the food, then die and float to the surface. Fantastic. There's a pressure gauge in here, and a lot of dead fish. Yoink. So that is the first of the items successfully collected. Next up, we've got this grimy key, and this opens a door, unsurprisingly. Specifically, this door right here will lead us to a room with a skeleton in it, and the rubber tube. So, unlock that, grab the tube, get bombed by the skeleton, just a little bit, but we're fine. And that's 2 for 3. Delightful. The last location that we need to go to is down this ladder. There's a wall in the way, which can be opened with this candle sconce lever. Very fancy. And this brings us down to, as the professor said, the IQ testing chamber. And this is the main bit of the actual quest that was changed in 2009. The doors now have convenient color coding on them, matching to the various levers. Previously, the levers were just levers, all the same color. They did say that which lever they were. We just had to figure out which ones you needed to use to open all these. So, ultimately, what we need is the blue, yellow, and orange levers in the up position for the final door to get the oil can. Ultimately, there's not a huge amount of options in here, so eventually you would figure it out. But the first door, and the only one that we can actually do anything with to start, we got the green and the red, which is A and B. And that opens that door along with that door, as much as that helps us. But going through here, we now have access to the second room with levers C and D. So we can pull the D lever, just like that. And now we have a few more doors open. Heading back through here, we can look further into the puzzle and see that we need the ones we had up to be down. So we just go over here, put A and B back down, opening other doors, closing other doors. Very good. And this gives us access to the third set of two levers over here in the corner room here, where we have levers E and F. Pull both of these, which opens a pathway back to the C and D room. Now we need to be able to get out of here to more places. So we pull C. That opens up some other options. Gets it into the correct position to open the final door here. And now we just need to backtrack back out of here while also not closing the final door. F needs to be where it is, so we can pull E, and that opens up the middle doors here, letting us back out. Grab the oil can. I don't know if the ghosts on the middle floor were the poltergeists he was talking about, but we didn't have any problems with them, so that's fine. Hopefully they were not his pet piranhas in the fountain, as he was like the only person here, so you can just get more. It's probably fine. Anyways, that is all 3 bits. So we can head back up and give these to the professor. And save Ernest, thankfully. Have you found anything yet? Give him here then. Didn't say I did, but there you go. I give all the items. The machine works, and Ernest is returned to human form. Thank you, sir. It was dreadfully irritating being a chicken. How can I ever thank you? A cash reward is always nice. Of course, of course. You may as well have these eggs and feathers I mysteriously found in my pockets. Quest complete. Ernest the chicken. And that is also 2 achievements. Complete the quest and get the extra rewards. And my goodness, are they some extra rewards. As we can see here, our reward was 4 quest points, 3,000 coins, 10 eggs, and 300 feathers. Originally, the quest reward was 4 quest points, so that's correct. Very good. And 300 coins. And that's it. Eggs, we don't need. We can pick up piles of them anywhere with the chickens. Well, not anywhere. There's only eggs and piles in a few places, but that's fine. And these feathers don't even exist yet. So that's no good. And then the last problem, the coins. Once again, the reward is more than it should be. So what we need to do is put all the coins in the pouch, withdraw the offending amount, this time 2,700, and drop it. Then we can withdraw all the rest of the money. Almost 5,000, not bad. So yeah, 300 coins is still something. It's not bad. When we get 25 coins per bronze dagger that we make, actually not bad at all. So we saved Ernest, and Veronica thanks us for rescuing him. Where is he now? Oh, he went off to talk to some green warty guy. I'm sure he'll be back soon. So, Ernest went to go ask the goblins for directions. I'm sure that's going to be perfectly fine. I'm sure he's not going to get kidnapped or anything. Not going to worry about it. My job here is done. And I've got these helmets that I could go sell. And so I will. And so I will. Running back to Lumbridge here. To the general store. Gonna get a little bit of gold here. I guess these are actually 2 bars. I think we can get 50. Yeah, the daggers would also be 50. But still, 150 coins just for picking up the helmets. Again, not quite accurate. But it makes up a little bit for the money that we did not get. Ultimately, that would probably be the best money-making method, but also slightly disingenuous, since bronze stuff would not sell for that much. It's offset by the fact that any other smith materials won't sell for much. So we're making do with what we got here. Not gonna make a habit of it or anything. Don't think we need this spade, but we can drop it when the time comes, I guess. Hi, Donnie. How you doing? Well, there we go. That is the first... Not the first update. First set of updates, I suppose. Got us to where we need to be, at least. And along with the updates that actually add things to the game, we also have bits of information from the newsletters and whatnot of interesting things that happened. Some fun tidbits from the first newsletter here included Lumbridge now being a safe location with PvP disabled. So you'd be safe in Lumbridge if you chose PvP mode for the game, instead of just letting people spawn camp everyone that shows up. Not exactly a good first impression. Made some networking changes to make connections better. This was 2001 connections, so optimization would be beneficial. And another fun thing was a bit of high scores information. Had a top 25 for various combinations of skills. And this was on the 21st. So, just a few weeks from the start of the game. The highest total level was 506, which is pretty impressive compared to our 177, which also includes a whole bunch of level 1s tacked on that don't even count. But we don't need to have the highest total level here at the start, because we get to train on better options as they come out. the best combat skill total. Exactly how this was calculated, not entirely sure. Total combat skill was 200. Whether that's just hit points, attack, strength, defense, or if it includes range, good magic, evil magic, pray good, pray evil. Not entirely clear. And it's not combat level or anything. 200 combat. It's not a thing for a little bit until it's not again. The best player killer had killed 100 people in the first few weeks, which is probably connected to the whole changing Lumbridge to not be a PvP zone, spawn camping new people. That probably got some inflated numbers there. And the best smiths, which combined mining and smithing level, was level 88. So, if we're going to have mining and smithing be at the same level, it would have roughly 44 mining and smithing. And we are still rocking the first version of the smithing tables, so not ideal. Anyways, that is the first update. And now, we can continue on to another update. Instead of waiting any amount of time, we can head straight through the next batches. Ultimately, going to end up being 1 week later, but we don't have to wait an entire week. So that'll be fun. Next time. Goodbye.